We have the state president for Tamil Nadu, Annamalai, with us. Thank you so much for speaking with us, sir. The first and foremost thing is that last week you conducted a hunger strike, and you also were trying to say that Mekedatu Dam should not be built. However, it seems that the Chief Minister of Karnataka is not agreeing with you. What is your view on this?
Sir, we have made our stand very clear, and the Jal Shakti Minister has made his stand very clear, sir. I really don't want to comment on it. Now, we have made the stand clear, and the Parliament has made the stand clear, so I want to rest my case there. The central government will make sure a good decision will be made. We need not worry about it, sir.
You mentioned that the Jal Shakti Minister has very clearly given a notion that unless Tamil Nadu agrees, Mekedatu Dam will not be constructed. But however, CM Bommai has once again come forward and said that such projects were constructed by Andhra. Similarly, Karnataka will approach them and make sure that the dam is constructed. How do you see this?
No, sir, I have made my stand very clear. The Tamil Nadu's point of view, we have expressed very clearly. And the highest decision maker in this case, the decision by the minister was also conveyed on the floor of the house. We will rest our case. Good things will happen. No need to worry, sir.
Good things happen?
Good things will happen. You will also see. There is a law of the land. Law of the land will be followed. Thank you.
Why do you think that the Mekedatu Dam should not be constructed?
If you have any other question, I am willing to answer that, sir. I have made my stand very clear. The Honourable Minister has made the stand very clear. And what is the more assurance you want from my side?
Sir, we are asking this again and again because the Chief Minister of Karnataka is not agreeing with it.
You have to ask him, sir.
He's also from your party.
You have to ask Mr. Bommai. Bommai is making the statement as the Chief Minister of Karnataka. You got to go and ask Mr. Bommai about this question. You cannot ask me, right? I cannot speak on his behalf.
All right. So what about the Ashirwad Yatra that you are planning to conduct in Tamil Nadu?
16th, 17th and 18th of August, this Ashirwad Yatra will be conducted in Tamil Nadu. You know for a fact, the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was deliberately prevented by the Congress party and other parties in the floor of the House in not giving him the privilege of introducing his ministers to the floor. And this is a historic decision made by our Honorable Prime Minister also, where 12 ministers from the SC community, 8 ministers from the ST community, 13 women ministers, 28 OBC ministers were there. This is historic. And deliberately it was prevented in the Parliament from not introducing them. Now the Honorable Ministers are coming on a yatra on 16, 17 and 18, seeking people's love, people's blessing and people's support. So Muruganji is doing this yatra in Coimbatore, Nilgiri, Erode, Salem and Namakkal. So he wants to meet all people, and people are also willing to meet him. People want to come out in large numbers and give their blessings, so that the gap between the minister and the people is almost negligible. That is the purpose of this yatra. At the same time, whatever the corona guidelines the government of Tamil Nadu has got, the local administration has got in each of those areas, will be scrupulously followed on other too.
Why does the belt where he's going currently, like you mentioned, Erode, Coimbatore and Namakkal, sounds like the Kongu Nadu belt here?
That is, his hometown is from Namakkal. Normally a minister, first time he comes, normally he would like to start from his hometown, meet his well-wishers, meet the people around. That is the only focus of doing this there. Once the corona subsides, the guidelines get relaxed, he'll go to southern part of Tamil Nadu, then he'll go to eastern part, he'll go to northern part. We will cover each of the part one after the other.
And how do you see this recent DVAC raids against the former AIDMK ministers, be it MR Vijay Bhaskar or currently SP Velumani?
Now, our leaders have made their statements, official statements also. We see some kind of a political vendetta in this, because even before the election, they were personally targeted by the current Chief Minister when he was in the opposition, and during the election canvassing also. Now we are seeing a manifestation of that. At the same time, when a lot of media people ask very pointed questions about the raid, about what was captured and all, let us wait for the charge sheet. Charge sheet cannot lie. Everything has to come with an evidence. But at the outset, it clearly looks like a politically motivated decision.
At the same time, the DVAC affair shows that almost 800 crores of tenders were given to his families and relatives. And it also shows about the various companies involved and how tenders were given. All this clearly given in that 16-page FIR. How do you see that?
As I mentioned to you clearly, my friend, whatever numbers we are speaking, that has to be substantiated. 4,000% increase in revenue, whatever numbers they have mentioned. And the mere filing on FIR is just an oral observation of an investigating officer. We all know that. Let us wait for the charge sheet before we make specific comments about this company, that company, who's owning that. Thank you, sir.
So he has very clearly mentioned that Mekedatu, good news is waited. He's asking the people to wait. At the same time, the raids, DVAC raids, he's calling it as a political vendetta for now, which has to be substantiated. With Visions Divyan, Pramod Madhav, Pointed Today.